All right. Well, welcome everybody to a special edition of the Omaha Bar Association Bar Talk video chat. I'm Dave Summers, Executive Director of the Omaha Bar Association, and I am here today in the offices of Bradley Law with Joe Bradley.
Hi, Dave. Hi, guys.
So, Joe, we wanted to get you on camera today to talk about your authorship of the next great American novel.
It's exciting times.
Tell us the name. Tell us a little bit about the storyline.
Sure. So this is a book I wrote kind of over the pandemic with my cousin Olivia, and it started kind of as a writing exercise just to see if we could do it, where she would write a chapter, send it to me, I'd write a chapter, back and forth, and it ended up coming together surprisingly well. The book is called Luftballons, as in 99 Luftballons. And our pen name is C.L. Jolie, and the Jolie is a mixture of Joe and Olivia, and then C and L are our mutual grandparents that we share, Charlotte and Leon. And the book is kind of a post-apocalyptic, pandemic type situation where, you know, there's all sorts of adventures that mostly young teenagers are going through. A lot of sci-fi that, of course, Dave, if I'm writing a book, there's going to be some sci-fi in there. It's just going to happen.
Absolutely.
So, no, I mean, we went to print a week ago today, and just the support and from everybody has just really kind of blown me away. I thought at most my mom would buy 2 copies, and that would kind of be that, but it's, it's really kind of blowing up, and it's been great.
Would you dare to say more successful than John Haskell's book?
I would not dare to say that. John Haskell's, OBA's first author, is fantastic.
So how did it come about writing a chapter back and forth? Was there something out there that you were following, or how did you guys come up with that?
Well, no, I mean, it was these, Dave, remember, I'm going to flash you back to 2020. These are the early days of the pandemic.
Right.
Everyone at their lowest of their lows.
Scratching against the wall.
And the first couple of weeks of it, Olivia and I were playing virtual board games with each other, just passing the time. And then I don't even remember which one of us came up with the idea, because we were talking about challenging ourselves creatively and doing different stuff. And she said she was going to start writing the story, and we thought, how fun would it be? Just like without anything mapped out. There was no story mapped out, just where I was kind of guessing her story would go. And it ended up working. And had we known how difficult it was going to be, I'm sure we wouldn't have tried.
Right.
But what we ultimately ended up doing is each chapter was a point of view character, like the Game of Thrones books.
Okay.
Where each chapter is from a different limited perspective, or like I don't know if you've ever read The Expanse by James Corey. Like that's how he does it too. It's point of view characters, and so kind of our cheat to make it work was she had her POV characters, and she had kind of her story within the larger story, and I had my POV characters, story within the larger story. Where, I mean, at first they didn't interact much at all, and they were just kind of telling these parallel stories next to each other, and as it went on,
in the same environment,
in the same overarching story. Yeah. And as it went on, she became more comfortable with my characters. I became more comfortable with hers, so we could intertwine them a little bit better. And towards the thrilling conclusion, it was funny how you don't realize how many characters you've made until you're in a scene with oh, there's 20 people in this scene. I have to keep all this straight.
Well, and that leads me to my next question, which is, how do you go about writing your chapter? Do you storyboard it? Is it an outline? Is it free-flowing parts? Like how did you do that?
Well, early on it was very free-flowing. Olivia did a very good job in her first chapter of kind of putting some markers down as to, points that we could go. And then in my chapter I put a bunch of kind of dots, as we would kind of call them, ways the story could go. But we quickly learned, and I think much to Olivia's chagrin, I was very good at expanding the story. I wanted to go this way and that way, and I was bringing in more stuff and just open up the world. But we realized that if we'd have done that, the book is already over 400 pages. Had left to my own devices, I'd still be writing that book, and we'd be at 2,000 pages right now. But we ended up, as it went on, I would write a chapter, and then we would have like a phone call or a Zoom that night, and we would say, where does this fit in the overarching? And then we would try to, together, we would map out our next couple chapters where we thought we were going. And very quickly, we tried to kind of make a loose end point, like where we were aiming for. Now, that end point changed many times. Because at one point, like, not to spoil anything in the book, but there is a point where there's a mysterious building, and there's a mysterious floor on that building that has, you cannot get access to.
Is it parquet? Is it tile?
Look, no spoilers, Dave. But it's a meaning floor, like the floor. Yes, it's parquet, the most mysterious of tiles. No, so in my initial chapters, I'm like, well, this is where I'm building to. Like, it's going to be like, Dave, we made it to that floor like by chapter 5. So we had to kind of change the goalposts a few times.
Well, and when you talk about expanding it, I see in my mind Michael Scott at the improv class, and he's just putting a gun in somebody's hand every single time.
No, there was a lot of yes and no. A lot of like, okay, because I mean, I know I enjoyed it, but it was very fun throwing my co-author curveballs and have her be like, well, what in the hell am I going to do with this? And her stuff, like, she came up with stuff that I would have never dreamed in a million years, and like coming up with ways for the story in my head to fit into what she was doing was kind of half the fun.
And in terms of the editing process, you get done with a chapter, the baton's to her, and then you then see how it goes together. Was it a severe editing process at the end, or? I
would say severe is an apt term, but no, I mean, it's because we, especially when you're doing it piecemeal like that, one of the things that we caught. So we had a couple of very lovely beta readers, and after we wrote it, and then we did our first set of edits, we sent it to some friends to read, just to be like, does this even make sense? Yeah. And one of them caught that we had done the same dramatic reveal in 2 different chapters. Like, I can't believe it.
Who did it first? Who did it second?
I'm not here to throw Olivia under the bus, but it was my reveal. Just saying, I did it first, Olivia. Probably should have read the chapter. But no, so I mean, but we caught it, and and there's a couple other instances where like you're like, well, thank God we caught that, because it took us, I'd say, almost an entire year writing, because we both have day jobs. She's a zoologist, and
whoa, you have a day job?
No, it's sometimes, okay. Occasionally, mostly playing pickleball.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that.
But it's, there'd be times where I would have to, like, because we would tie stuff back to the beginning, and like at one point I'm like, I legit don't remember what I wrote in that chapter. I'd read it and be like, huh, you're telling me I wrote that. Okay.
So, and then you get it done, and it's ready to publish. How long of a process was that to get the physical books in hand?
I mean, at first, once we pulled the trigger on how we wanted to do it, it went very fast. Yeah. But it's one of those where, like, because we ended up self-publishing through Amazon, which they make it super easy, and like it's awesome, and you don't have to put like a lot of skin in the game. And since we're not like Stephen King or John Grisham, we thought it's out there, our friends and family, and anybody can see it and read it, and we'd love to share it. But like also, I didn't want to like spend $10,000 and be like, we're going to do all this fun stuff. So, but then we looked at all these different publishers, and right. I mean, I'm sure shocking to no one, it's a rather high bar to like for these people to like even want to look at your book,
right?
And then to be able to say what genre, because that's even tough. Because like our book is kind of YA, young adult, but like kind of not. It's kind of sci-fi, but it's kind of not. Like it's so. I mean, I don't even know what category they would have put that under. So
middling through all the categories. So in terms of Amazon publishing, so then it's on Amazon, so you can buy it and they'll drop ship it to you.
Yeah, buy and ship it to you. Where, in fact, here's a scoop for everybody.
Yeah.
We're just working on the final parts of the electronic version. So
yeah.
you'll soon be able to order the ebook if you're an e-reader and have it on there.
More importantly, do we get the audio book? Is that coming out? Because Joe Bradley's voice reading me a book needs to happen.
Yeah, we have talked about that because my cousin Olivia is very similar to me. We do a lot of silly voices. We're very much goofballs, and people have asked her about that. And it would be funny. It would be pretty ridiculous. And there's some characters that, like, in my mind when I wrote them, like there's one character named Lawrence, and this all takes place in the country that used to be America. So there is no reason for him to be a proper British gentleman. But that is how I wrote him in my mind, and I wouldn't be able to not do that. And it's like an Arnold Schwarzenegger character. There's no reason for him to be foreign, and yet that's what it would be.
Well, I for one would pay for the audio version. I can't wait to get my hands on it. Most important question of all, what font did you choose to publish in?
Oh man, I don't even know. So Olivia helped with. She did all the hard work of like getting the formatting right and all that stuff. So, I mean, I can't say.
Ah, okay.
I mean, I would guess Times New Roman if I know my Romans.
Okay.
But it could be Old Roman. I don't know.
I'm not here to judge, but I am judging. So you've written a book.
Yeah.
You've won a pickleball tournament. By the way, for all those watching, thanks, Mom. Hi, Mom. Joe Bradley this summer. He organized and won the pickleball tournament at Field Day, and so this is 7 months coming.
Now, Dave, as much as I love this trophy and I love to accept the trophy from the OBA, there is a slight asterisk by it because, as you said, you were busy that day, so I was in charge of making the brackets. So when I make the brackets and then I win the brackets that I set up, it seems a little fishy.
Well, and you may have had a ringer on your team in Brad Entwistle at 10:02.
Did I scout out the best pickleball player there and immediately snatch him up? You bet your butt. You bet your butt I did.
Well, and everybody had so much fun at the pickleball. We're definitely going to do that again for Field Day this year. It's going to have to be a little bit different because we're at Field Club instead of Champions. So anybody who wants to sign up, please do. But we'll also have to do it off-site. So there is rumor that there will be a pickleball court at Field Club coming soon.
Ooh.
But I think that's going to be next year.
So exciting.
So congratulations on that.
Thanks,
Please
Dave.
share it with Brad. Get your pictures, throw it up on social media, and then give him a chance to do the same.
Send it over there. I mean, the prestige of having it on your law firm desk. My goodness.
Yeah. Well, and the scratched off gold paint on the side and the dripping paint on the front really sets it apart.
Although still classier than the softball trophy that we have. We play the annual defense attorneys versus county attorneys softball game, and it used to be, well, I guess it still is technically. It was a 40, an alcoholic 40 in gold paint, and that was on like a trophy platform. That was then destroyed by Patrick McNamara.
Correct.
Who left it in the trunk of his car, and then it became just a shattered, jagged-edged 40, which, in lieu of replacing, we still pass jagged glass to each other, which I feel like that's safe.
Yeah.
That's a safe thing.
All in, Patrick McNamara likes to destroy invaluable pieces of artwork like that. I love that 40, the golden 40 trophy.
Sure.
Definitely need to bring that back.
Mm-hmm.
Spend the $10, $15 that was done the first time. Joe, everybody online right now watching this, I haven't even looked at the comments, but I know they're desperately wondering, what is the Taco Challenge and why are you doing it?
Guys, the Taco Challenge. So I'm sure anybody has seen that starting, I think January 7th, Taco Bell nationally opened the Taco Lovers Pass, which was for a mere $10 for 1 month. You would get one taco of your choosing a day at any Taco Bell location.
Okay.
And so I have, obviously, I'm like, that's easy money. That's free tacos.
$10.
So I figured out the math so that my taco of choice is the very authentic Doritos Locos taco, which is a taco in a Dorito shell. And those run you about $2 and some change.
Really?
If you just pick one up at the store.
Shocking.
And so the Taco Bell pass paid for itself within the first 5 days. And so by my estimation, I've now received upwards of like $30 of free tacos. So,
Okay. And you're always doing Doritos Locos?
Always doing Doritos Locos.
Okay.
But then, because it's also tied in the rewards program, sometimes I also get additional free tacos.
Well, and this is what I was going to ask. They're assuming you show up and you get other stuff.
Yeah.
Are you showing up and getting other stuff, or are you strict to this?
I am strict to the one taco, which oddly enough has helped my portion control. Like you go in there, you get the one.
Yeah.
But the only time, sometimes when my wife knows that I'm going, I will come back with a bevy of tacos for the whole crew.
So it may be paying off for Taco Bell in some respects.
Well, I maintain that those are free tacos, Dave.
And right, when you say that you're winning, is your body winning the taco challenge?
I think so. I mean, it's not yes. Like I've said before, the Taco Bell diet is not going to catch on anytime soon. But it's only one taco.
Yeah.
And like I said to one of my friends who worried about my gastrointestinal health,
yes, I
said if one taco a day is really giving me that much trouble, methinks the problem lies with you,
right,
not the taco.
Right. And I worry about this being, the caring person that I am. Taco neck syndrome. Are you having any TNS?
So what is taco neck?
Oh, don't you remember the commercial with Shaq where he was eating tacos? So you have to turn your neck to get the taco up, right?
I think Shaq
shooting free throws.
I think Shaq doing any regular human activity causes him to bend in very uncomfortable ways. The world is not built for Shaq.
And do you still enjoy? This is probably the last question. Do you still enjoy the Doritos Locos taco?
And that was a concern. Some of my other taco aficionado friends have said, "Joe, my God, what are you doing? You're going to ruin the taco experience." Yeah. And I can tell you. Because I've missed a day here and there, but for the most part, I've stayed pretty clear to it. And not only do I still love every GD taco that I eat, but I look forward to it. It is wonderful. It's still delicious.
And I guess the final question will be hot sauce. Are you saucing it? Are you keeping it plain?
That is the one thing I learned. Yeah. So I used to do the second from the top sauce. So the hottest sauce you can get is Diablo, and I used to do fire.
Okay.
Now I found that you cannot do fire 5 days in a row, otherwise it stays true to its word. And so I have moved down from fire to just regular hot, and there's been much rejoicing since then.
Fair enough. I was not aware of this Taco Bell pass. Is it for the entire year, or
I think it's
stop it after seeing what you were doing here?
They stopped it for health reasons. Yeah. No, it's by the month. You can do it for the whole year. Originally, I was gonna try the whole year. I think that might be a bit much. I think I'm gonna stop it. My last day is February 7th.
Right, subscription.
So subscription runs out. I think I'm gonna let it run its course. But no regrets, guys. Get them tacos.
Okay. Joe, we're also in a book club.
Yep.
The Omaha Bar Association Book Club, right. And this is a reveal. We haven't talked about what we're going to be reading next, but it is there was a vote taken, and it's going to be the story of Chief Standing Bear.
Oh, excellent!
As some of you may know, there's a statue and set up in the federal courthouse talking about the trial of Chief Standing Bear, which was in the district court in Nebraska, and gave rights to Native Americans. So that's our next book on the book club. So in 3 months we'll be getting together on that. And I like to call you the co-chair. There is no other co-chair, so I'm just leaving that spot open, but not giving you full authority over the book club.
That's as well. You shouldn't. I can't be trusted with it.
Is there anything else you want to tell the people out there that maybe I missed the softball question in there? Is there anything going on in your life other than your kids and everything else? F3. This is kind of. Can we talk
yeah.
about F3?
Sure.
Okay. So there are some of you watching. A lot of attorneys actually that are doing this. It's a guys only workout group that meets in the middle of winter in the early morning.
Yeah, no, the whole shtick of F3 it's fitness, fellowship, and faith. Those are 3 Fs. And we meet. Basically, you have the option to meet most every morning, and we meet at like public spaces like parks and schools. And it's very early. You meet at 5:30 in the morning, and it's always outside, even in the dead of winter. This morning we met. And it was -16 wind chill.
Woo!
And it's all about the layers, but it's great. I mean, I'm in the best shape of my life, and it's just a great group of guys that kind of keep you, I would never, I'll say this, I would never go out and do that workout by myself.
Yeah.
But going out there with like a group of like 10 or 12 guys, you have fun and you just jabbing at each other, and, because I'm sure you're like me, Dave. If someone said, here, go do 20 push-ups by yourself, you would say no. But if you see all your buddies doing 20 push-ups, you're like, well, I can do 20 push-ups.
Yeah.
And and it's been a lot of fun. A lot of attorneys are in that. And it's a very nice thing.
Yeah. I mean, crazy gets crazy, right?
Absolutely.
5:30 in the morning. Okay. Not my cup of tea, but you guys are doing it. And you're in the best shape. Sean Conway, Josh Ambor, Jeremy Elliott. Like there are a lot of guys. Ryan Milkins.
Well, I find, Dave, with our profession, you kind of have 3 options for mental health, because this is a very trying thing that we do. And you can either drink, which a lot of people choose that one, very popular.
Whiskey tasting next Monday.
Whiskey tasting. You can get proper mental health care, which, I mean, who wants to do that? Where's the fun? Where's the fun in curing yourself? Or, I mean, you can do fitness to have endorphins bury the problem. And I think that's really the best way to go about it.
This is just coming to my head now. We should talk a little bit about barristers, just because.
Well, sure. I mean, it's only 11 months away.
Yeah, on the clock already. Jordan Holst, Public Defender's Office, is the new president. She's great. She's been on the podcast before. In this office, we've recorded some podcasts here. We'll have to get back out for a video Hot Wings challenge. We'll do a Hot Ones.
Please, God, no.
On camera, just us crying and screaming. But the barristers, Doug Amon hit it out of the park. He really did a great job.
Amazing.
One of the best monologues ever.
And he did it like 2 weeks before Omicron showed up. So it was perfect time.
Oh yeah. And his kid got sick with COVID like that week. I mean, he was dealing with it. But the big news from barristers was the simple German lawyer.
I don't know that was.
What was the name of the
Simple
character?
German lawyer.
Simple German lawyer came in.
Yeah.
So new character from Joe Bradley.
Yeah, he's wearing some lederhosen.
We have the simple country lawyer.
Yeah.
And now we have the simple German lawyer.
I mean, Dave, clearly I really put a lot of effort into these characters. Very, very nuanced.
Well, and when you're trying to work on your German accent, where are you going for that? Where are you finding that inspiration?
I do a lot. It's a mixture of like Mike Myers with sprockets mixed with all the bad guys from Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
So that's kind of right in the middle. That's where I find my sweet spot.
And that lederhosen, is that original real stuff, or
no? That was a gag costume sent to me by my wife's cousin after I posted a picture of me as a small child wearing lederhosen. And basically sent it with like, hey, keep it going, Joe. So, no, that went on. But again, a cautionary barrister's tale, and I've done this twice now. I don't try the costume on before the night, and I realized that for the eagle-eyed barrister watcher, they really got to see all that I was bringing to the table, as it were. And, I apologize for anybody in the front row that I traumatized with how tight and snug that costume was.
Well, it's always good to not have any reason to say I can't do this by actually trying it on in advance.
Yeah.
No, that is what I do every year with my silver suit at New Year's. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, I think we'll leave it there for now. We'll have to do this again sometime soon. We'll get back on the pod where we can debate some legally somewhat related items. And,
sure. Yeah, we're very good at that.
Some movies, go deep dive in the movies. I think we're going to start Stu's movie review. I think that's going to become the new weekly, because Stu Dornan loves his movies, loves to give great reviews on them. So I think it's worth having him on.
And it's not just the Cinemax stuff anymore. He sees the real stuff, so it's impressive.
Yeah, he's got more mainstream and less TVMA. So, yeah. Well, and with that, I am going to get up and turn this off. So this is going to be an awkward ending. All right.
Bye, everybody.